Alright, this is going to be a quick video doing what would I run on MagDK. I decided to take a break from the game, so it's a theory crafted build. So if I was going to run MagDK to make it viable for Battlegrounds, I'd probably switch off to Breton, because Magicka sustain is pretty shitty. Actually decided Thief would probably your best bet for healing as well as damage, to kind of give you the spike damage without having to utilize abilities like Molten Whip. Like I said, this is a no CP build, and you can see that in Cyrodiil all points into Magicka. Running Thief, I do recommend Breton because they kind of pooped all over Magicka sustain. In terms of the items I would run, 2 Slime Crawl, and let's just look at the stats, right? 22k HP, 31k Magicka, almost 16k stamina. This is the recoveries of the pot, 3200 buff spell damage with 44% spell critical. Of course, that'll give you a lot of spike damage as well as a lot of bursty heals. Coag is kind of shit, so you kind of really want to maximize the amount that you're going to get from it. You can see the tooltip right there. It's at E400. Spell critical is 60%, and that's because I switched off to race against time, so you have some immunity. And it's because I'm running more critical. It's, you know, you want to run more crit damage. You can see the resistance is here. You can see the effective spell power of this build is almost 8800. So for this build, like I said, 2 Slime Crawl, and of course that's for the extra 8% for Minor Berserk as well as the spell critical. So I was trying to really push spell critical for MagDK build, because MagDK really doesn't have that much critical when crit is important, especially in no CP. Primarily because there's only so much impen that you can put into a no CP build, that you can really put. If you can really push the spell critical damage, you're really going to hit pretty hard. So for this particular setup, I reinforced, like I said, I double reinforced, because you get more out of it than running the additional impen. Especially because the dot mana is kind of over. So for this setup, I went Innate Axiom because it has the critical. I don't think DK really can sustain running that new set, Moonlight Acolyte, because DK sustain is pretty shitty. Plus, I liked the line of stamina because I am running Sword and Shield. Another build that I ran, I did run the Dragon set for the 15% reduction, and that was on a heavy build. So for this particular build, I do recommend running the Potentates for the 15% reduction, because they switched it a long time ago that even when you reduce the cost of your ultimates, you gain the full amount back from Battle Roar. So that's why I went that route. Plus, you get an extra 5% player mitigation, which is very strong. Running Sword and Shield, I do recommend Sword and Shield for DKs because you're slow, and so that you can mitigate a lot. You can mitigate a lot of damage via blocking. We've got a good amount of stamina. Sturdy on the shield, of course. Reinforced, the rest impen. This is a light armor build, so it's 5 light, 2 heavy. I am running 2 infused spell damage just to get my spell damage to a comfortable spot, and then 1 triune, and that's just to get my health a little bit higher. I think 31k max magic is more than enough. An infused infernal willpower is what I'm running on the back bar, and then willpower on the front bar for the extra max magicka. Nernhoned, sturdy. You can run shock. You're gonna want to run shock on your front bar, and that's just so that you can proc the concussive passive for the extra 8% chance for extra damage. Or you can run something that will reliably proc. So you can either get the concussion for the extra 8% there, or run like just raw damage, like a flame enchant or whatever. Back bar is Inferno infused, and that'll give you the opportunity to heavy attack from range for extra magicka, and of course, you know, you're running the glyph on the back bar. Front bar is where all our damage is, or you can see the tooltip on Flame Lash. The tooltip. I am hitting the 8%. Let me use the 10% mark on engulfing. So you can see the tooltip there. Fossilize. Actually, you can either run Fossilize or run the other morph. You can see the tooltip there on Coag. Shooting Star on the front bar, and that's just to maximize the damage on the front bar. And then I put leap. You can put whatever you want on your back bar. I just put this here for the extra max Magicka recovery. It kind of maxes out the front bar. Back bars for buffing, so you don't really need leap. Just there as an option, or you could run a defensive ultimate like Magma Shell is really good for BGs. Going back, cauterize. You're gonna need the heal because Flame Lash is not going to be enough, which is why I recommend Sword and Shield. Of course, degeneration for the spell power, and of course the dot. It's pretty sad that dot. You compare that dot to this dot. You can see the tooltip is 14.5 over 14 seconds, and within melee range is fucking 5 meters. With a 28 meter dot, with pretty close to almost the exact same amount of damage. Gives you also 20, the 20% spell sorcery, as well as an additional 2% to your max magic and recovery. Like I said, back bar race against time for the minor force. Like I said, running more criticals, running more spell critical, so you're really gonna want the extra damage from minor force because you are gonna be critting more, so you might as well crit harder, as well as having access to a little bit more mobility and root and snare immunity. And this is the first time I really don't run or needed to run LE Drain, but I think you're probably gonna need it even on a Breton. Like I said, cauterize, and then volatile, and then running ferocious leap. For the food, I always recommend running Tristat, especially if you're running a block build. You're gonna need the stam. I think that was it. Yeah, triglyphs. Right, I always run triglyphs on the front, especially for sword and shield, so you have a good amount of HP and stamina for blocking. So like I said, this is a 5-2. This is basically what I would recommend running if you're playing MagicDK to really eke out as much damage. Because you really want, like I always talk about, you want to be over 7,000. So obviously this is well over 7,000. Very strong build. In terms of the damage output with Slime Claw, you could also run like one Dama House and one Stonekeeper, and then because the Slime Claw doesn't affect your healing, doesn't affect the healing from Coag or from Cauterize, and if you ran one Dama House and one Stonekeeper, that would give you the max resources, which is why I ran both. Was thinking of running both, and you'd sit like around 80, like 82, 80. You do a little bit less damage, but of course, your healing abilities, of course, would be a little bit stronger. So it's up to you. I think on my tooltip for Coag, with the other setup with one Dama House, one Stonekeeper, I think I was sitting at like 89 and change on my Coag. Up to you. Depends what you're looking for. If you feel that you don't need it, up to you. You'll have a little more resources. You'll sit around a little over 17k stamina with over 33k max Magicka. Entirely up to you if you want a deeper pool to draw from for both blocking as well as for your max Magicka and having a little bit more healing. Entirely up to you, which you use your preference, and then you'll sit like at 40% critical. Whereas with Slime Claw, as you can see here, sitting at 44. Remember, ESO always rounds it down, so that 44.6 is 44. I think it build would pretty hard. Tooltip is okay. I know they did nerf. They did nerf because of the change to what's it called? Not combustion, searing strike. Searing strike on the previous patch was affecting flame lash. So you lose the 10%. You're trying to eke out as much damage on the flame lash. So you're basically running just the 2 damage abilities with a dot on your back bar, and then whatever ultimate. You're gonna engulfing into a meteor into a fossilize and a double whip, and you'll probably kill most opponents. But I think it's going to be it for this build. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comment section. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Hope you guys are enjoying the patch. Take care. God bless.